Hello everyone, I all hope you had a very wonderful, great, blessed morning and a very great day indeed. As you can see guys, today is extremely very much quietly hot. I don't know if it's about to rain, but it is literally quietly hot. Sorry for actually shooting this late. I was quietly actually busy with my house chores, doing the laundry and doing the laundry and also walking universe and giving her some sort of fresh air so that she can also as well have some fresh air as well during Friday as well. And I was also busy writing new and old characters from the current book that we're from the current book that we're currently actually in as well. Despite that, guys, I'm so superly grateful for your support in watching and in viewing my episodes and my videos from TikTok and from shorts and from long videos as well of YouTube as well. And from those of you who are also subscribing, may you all have a blessed weekend and a great day indeed. And may you all be happy and enjoy yourselves and stay happy and stay connected to the world and everything else. And also try to pursue your dreams and stay confident. Regardless of that, guys, I'm truly grateful for all of you and have a blessed day. I won't be able to upload the entire episode for those of you who are watching the long videos on YouTube. You'll receive it on next week, Monday morning, when I actually wake up, and then I'll begin to actually download it because I have a bit of a problem on Friday into actually uploading it. But for those of you who are actually watching shorts, you will receive the shorts. And for those of you who are actually watching TikTok, you'll actually receive the TikTok episode and video, all of it as from today. So let's exactly begin. On today's episode, we're to speak about a very dangerous shadow empire warlord of a bounty hunter known as Zendak. He's very ruthless and very dangerous and very sadistic and very ambitious and very powerful. He is one of the original Lord of Magic's loyal commanders, one of the original Lord of Magic's commanders, and one of the original Lord of Magic's commanders and greatest warlords that the original Lord of Magic that he personally himself trained with his entire life and entrusted him with his greatest missions and goals to conquering known worlds and known civilization. During when the Shadow Empire reached a power vacuum collapse within its turmoil, Zendak was able to gather an enormous amount of fleets of battle cruisers and other factions to join forces with him, which was able to call his faction the Power Faction, the Power Fleet, which was one of the most powerful which was one of the most Shadow Empire faction across the entire which was one of the most powerful Shadow Empire faction across the entire Shadow Empire warlords and commanders faction as well. Despite this, Zanek gathered many multiple supporters across the known universe and across the Shadow Empire's regions and territories to support him and aid him with a dozen number of battle cruisers and of airship fleets at his disposal, and enough to actually name the entire faction the Power Fleet, a founder and a leader of the Power Fleet as well, very dedicated to the goals of the Shadow Empire and its true purpose and mission as well, and is willing to take drastic actions and measures to make sure that the goals of the Shadow Empire bear fruit in its long-term plan to conquering many worlds and many civilizations in the actual process as well. So let's begin. In Zendak's early life, within the Shadow Empire glory days, he was quietly trained within the Shadow Empire Academy with the other Shadow Empire warlord and commander. Realizing his skills as a Shadow Empire bounty hunter, Zendak became very professionally good in hand-to-hand combat and also in swordsmanship, which granted him the greatest grades and the greatest highest grades within the Shadow Empire's history academy, where he gratefully successfully rose to occasion as well, and was also brought under by the original Lord of Magic's left-hand man, who quietly trained him and gave him guidance on how to control his abilities and his powers at will, and he was able to adapt so quickly and so very quickly and so very quietly faster. He was able to adapt his skills and highly evolve in a very faster rate than ever before. He was literally introduced to the original Lord of Magic during the greatest glory days of the Shadow Empire, when the original Lord of Magic was the sole leader of the Shadow Empire during the ancient times and during the many centuries when he was still hunting the prophesied child and still willing to exterminate the supernaturals, aliens, and the superhumans in the process. Regardless of that, the original Lord of Magic saw the real power and passion and determination within Zendak, that he was willing to tell Zendak himself that he's very proud of him and that he's willing to give him a small fleet of battle cruisers and a small number of commanders and warlords and advisors of the Shadow Empire to aid him with his mission. And he was able to exactly tell him that he must proceed with his given task and with his assignment all on his own, with the training and with the guidance he was able to actually receive throughout the following years of his long life being training on the Shadow Empire Academy and on the other worlds and planets of the Shadow Empire that have been mysteriously been conquered. Regardless of that, Zendak mysteriously bowed down to the original Lord of Magic and committed himself and told him then that is exactly what he will do. Amber, known as the goddess of power, the witch of power, who is the wife of the original Lord of Magic, who became Laurel before he became the Lord of Magic, who is Laurel, exactly advised the original Lord of Magic that Zendak, it's best that they actually keep him close and remain in contact with them in case they actually need him for future plans and for future goals. And the original Lord of Magic quietly agreed on that, seeing the potential and power and capacity within Zendak. The original Lord of Magic was quietly struck and very, very shocked and very surprised to see such will, determination, and great ruthlessness and power within a powerful, sadistic, ruthless Shadow Empire young warlord commander within his young age as well. Regardless of that, Zendak was sent to the far fringes of the known universe to conquer many worlds and many planets. During at that time of his age of him conquering many worlds and planets, he gained knowledge and gained vaster experience with greater wisdom from the Shadow Empire elders, and from the Shadow Empire seers and prophesiers and all the original Shadow Empire warlord who became the original founders of the Shadow Empire as well. During at that time, he rose to the occasion as he mercilessly conquered 10,000 worlds and destroyed many millions of them. For his great failures to the original Lord of Magic, he repaid the original Lord of Magic with many more 50,000 worlds as a way to show him that he was willing to make sure that he repaired the damage he gracefully exactly brought by destroying those worlds. But he understood that those other civilizations were very, very highly advanced civilizations. Others were not so advanced. Others were very great magical creatures. Some were aliens and warlords. Some were aliens and warlords and druids who were very quietly coexisting and living together, who exactly fought up against the powerful, sadistic Shadow Empire warlord of a bounty hunter known as Zendak. Regardless of that, Zendak remained on the far fringes of the sacred universe as he still conquered many worlds and planets and managed to create a territory of himself and managed to create a powerful territory of himself, as he was able to still gather 10,000 supporters and also followers throughout the Shadow Empire who aided him as his fleet and armada grew in such a larger rate. He was able to become more sadistic, many very cruel and very ruthless and very intelligent and very cunning, as he knew how to create strategies and also organizing events to his advantages as well, as he remained on the far fringes of the sacred universe for many years and for many centuries as well. On the 1st of February, when the news of the death of the original Lord of Magic were passing through the entire known universe and throughout the sacred world and throughout the sacred universe, Zendak was completely happy with what exactly happened. Literally, not exactly what literally happened to his great, powerful former master, who mercilessly trained him and guided him and gave him the proper techniques and teachings and lessons of his own. Regardless of him being in a far distance, he still trained Zendak in the best way he could, rather than to not exactly train Mandex, who was, after all, his son, his blood son, and his heir to the throne of the Shadow Empire. Despite Mandex's betrayal to his father, the original Lord of Magic felt that Zendak was the worthy successor of his throne, despite having many proteges and many successors that he's still able to raise in order to take over his legacy. Regardless of that, Zendak exactly returned into another mysterious battle cruiser before the 1st of February on the 29th in order to speak with the Dark Witch Amber, who sent the powerful Shadow Empire hybrids to go look for Zendak. Her and Amber exactly decided to collude and literally associate themselves with one another in order for them to actually gain control of the Shadow Empire. On the 1st of February, when the power vacuum of the Shadow Empire began, all the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders all convened on a very ancestral Shadow Empire world and planet for them to decide who will become the next Shadow Empire warlord. Amber, the Witch of Power, or known by another alias, the Goddess of Power, spoke for Zendak, stated to the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders that Zendak is a true worthy successor and that he's been trained by the original Lord of Magic by his true fearless devotion and hand, and that he is the one who should become the next worthy ruler. The other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders decided that the witch and Zendak literally secretly collaborating together makes them too dangerous and very too powerful, as they realize that they also have to associate themselves with one another. The others exactly refuse to working together as they all try to seek any means necessary to grab control of the Shadow Empire and of its throne for themselves in order to grow their factions and their army. But regardless of that, Zendak literally picked up his weaponry dagger sword and began fighting up against the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders for the Shadow Empire throne until the Universal heroes arrived with Mendex, who was able to arrive in a nick of time in order to prevent the Witch and Zendak from literally taking control of the Shadow Empire to further their sinister plans and goals for the far future that's about to come. Mendex and Zendak fought literally fiercely and against each other, which created a turmoil and a battle amongst other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders who mercilessly fought up against each other with their battle cruisers as the Four Nation Hunters and the Intergalactic Coalition of the Four Nation Hunters exactly arrived in the nick of time. The other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders escaped. Zendak completely escaped, but he wasn't able to contact Amber, as Amber literally disappeared during the ruckus of the chaos of the meeting, as she took also a battle cruiser and disappeared. Zendak was able to take the other Shadow Empire warlord and commander's fleet and told them that he'll be taking his fleet and also absorbing his entire fleet and adding into his faction as a way to show him that he has no interest in partnering up with him. After that, he completely mercilessly killed him and literally left him on the floor. After that, the battle cruisers completely left and went straight up into the atmosphere of the universe and began fighting and began actually taking off as well. On the 20th of March, Zendak and the rest of his power faction known as the Power Fleet began actually attacking another sinister labor world and planet of the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders labor worlds and planets, since the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders of other worldly worlds and planets under their sole control, other refugee worlds and planets for the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders who are also looking for refugees and everything else who are also headed to refugees worlds. They all exactly decided to place their allegiances and their loyalty to the Intergalactic Coalition of the Four Nation Hunters, which Zendak exactly appeared with a holographic message and exactly told them that they made a big mistake colluding with the Four Nation Hunters and with the Universal heroes, and for their great treachery, for their betrayal, since he was about to exactly try to ask them to join forces with him to his faction. He exactly decided in order to make an example of those who would actually betray him. So after that, he told one battle cruiser to fire a powerful beam of dark energy of the Iron Canyon on the planet in order to destroy it once and for all, to show those that he will not show mercy to any traitors, to any evil traitors or any betrayals of the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders. Regardless of that, the United Heroes arrived just in the nick of time to prevent the tragedy from going any further, which they were able to save the laboring planet and the worlds of the Shadow Empire, and they were able to exactly fight off Zendak. Zendak exactly decided to attack the labor planet's world's protective, powerful projectional shield, which protected from the radiation of the solar of the solar energy and sun before the solar radioactive energy of the sun of the sacred magic universe can easily attack it with its greater beam of light of a rare light beam of energy itself, which they are able to focus their attention on that. Zendak mysteriously exactly left and retreated and told his loyal officers and commanders that the damage has already been done and that all they have to do is that they've won for now at least, and that they have to actually retreat. Regardless of that, the United Heroes focus with the task at hand in saving the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders who are mercilessly at the mercy of a powerful cosmic energy, who are mercilessly at the powerful cosmic energy of the rays of the suns, of the sacred magical suns, rare powers and abilities that was about to decimate the entire Shadow Empire level worlds and planets and the rest of its inhabitants, which they were able to save. In doing so, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders saw the allegiances to the United Heroes and to the Universal Heroes and to the intergalactic coalition of the Four Nation Hunters. And the United Heroes were very successfully pleased that the Shadow Empire warlords have chosen the different path and the right way, regardless of that as well. It's been for after April and June and July, it's been for 3 months since Zendak has never been seen since his previous attack from those 3 months, and no one knows within the Shadow Empire worlds and territories why he hasn't been mysteriously been seen. All the other forces of evil have begun orchestrating their own plans and their own movements, while the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders continue on convening and meeting, while powerful, sacred, sinister, dark magical forces began to decimate them one after the other, while the other sinister forces began to secretly asking them for their technology and asking them to join forces with them and to remain as their associate. While in the meantime, Zendak hasn't been seen for 3 months. Literally for 3 months. He completely disappeared from the face of his last previous attack against those who never saw allegiances and loyalty to him and to his faction. No one knows exactly what happened to him or where he completely vanished to or disappeared to at the time as well. On the 29th of August, Zendak exactly held up a holographic meeting with Amber, the goddess of power, where they were able to speak on a quite very much of a far distance, where Amber was able to maintain herself, where Amber was in her base of operation and Zendak was in an within an unknown battle cruiser, where he was able to inform Amber, the goddess of power, that should he actually proceed with the plan that they've actually made, should they actually continue to proceeding with the plans that they've actually made so far, or should he not take drastic actions or measures to ensure that his factions remain the most powerful, dominant faction within the entire Shadow Empire. Regardless of that, Amber, the goddess of power, told Zendak that it's time for him to actually destroy the other distant worlds and planets in order to create a ruckus and a bit of turmoil in order to slow the Universal Heroes' mission and progress in saving the other civilizations and worlds from the forces of evil. That by doing so, it'll force them to split up their resources equally and divide their attention in equal several fronts as well, which in other words, he would benefit greatly from doing that. And Zendak completely agreed. After that, his holographic face from the holographic monitor disappeared, and Amber was very, very, very satisfied. Things are going according to plan. They are the way they were supposed to be as well. On the 29th of September, Zendak and the rest of his armada arrived on another beautiful known worlds throughout the known fringes of the known universe, and began mercilessly invading and attacking and destroying all the advanced civilization, forcing the intergalactic coalition of the Four Nation Hunters to take immediate action by literally taking their fleets of battle cruisers and airship fleet to go straightly into war with Zendak. Regardless of that, Zendak was able to be notified by his warlords that the Four Nation Hunters of the Intergalactic Coalition were able to arrive in the nick of time to prevent the tragedy. Zendak told his loyal officers and commanders that they must tell the rest of the fleet to continue the assault, while the other rest of the fleet must retreat because he had a plan in motion and that they all have to go away since the sinister plan has already been taken in effective action as well. As they all agreed on that, the other fleet began laying waste to the entire known civilization as the Intergalactic Coalition continued to fighting up against it in order to preventing more tragedy and more extinction loss, but they remained victorious until the rest of the fleet disappeared. Despite this, the quarter half of Zendak's fleet were literally decimated during the battle, and during the invasion, which some of the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders were literally taken into custody and sentenced to the Astral Prison to remain there for their crimes against the sacred universe and against the sacred world as well, while the others completely escaped on Zendak's per orders as well. On the 25th of October, Zendak exactly returned back to his home headquarters, which was his central headquarters of a battle cruiser, mother battle cruiser that was quietly harboring within the destroyed worlds and planets and systems, where thousands of battle cruisers and airship fleets were quietly exactly waiting for his orders. He has a huge number of entire advanced airship fleet and battle cruisers at his disposal, where he was able to sit at the throne of the mother of the battle cruiser, and the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders exactly told him that the attack worked marvelously and everything else began taking into place the way it was intended to be. The other commanders exactly began to ask Zendak what is the next phase of the plan. Zendak told them that they have to wait patiently in order to allow everything else to go according to plan, the way it's supposed to be as well. On the 19th of November, Zendak was able to speak to a mysterious holographic figure, a shadowy holographic figure on the sacred chambers of his central headquarters of the Mother Battle Cruiser, where this holographic figure provided Zendak with all the information on conquering many known worlds and planets and placing them under his sole control and under his sole authority, which in other words would make his faction one of the most dangerous and one of the most powerful of all. Zendak was very quietly skeptical of this shadowy holographic figure, as he told the shadowy holographic figure what is exactly going to benefit from him, but one is exactly actually willing to benefit from helping a Shadow Empire warlord and commander from conquering many worlds in order for him to actually do that. The shadowy holographic figure told him that he's only interested in seeing those with power, in seeing those with greater power to take control of that power and in using it for their own greater use. That way, he could alter the Shadow Empire's history and the rest of the Shadow bounty hunter that Zendak has managed to place under his sole control as well. Despite this, Zendak became very, very happy and sadistically very, very satisfied that the results are about to go his way, regardless of that. Between December and January, Zendak's entire fleet, known as a power fleet, conquered thousands of merciless worlds across the known universe of the known universe and of the known worlds throughout the fringes of the sacred universe, where he mercilessly exactly placed them under his sole control. Regardlessly, between those 2 months, he proved himself very powerful and very sadistically, manly, cruel, and very ruthless, and also surprisingly to be intelligent and very, very resourceful, and also extremely very much of a super strategist and a tactician as well, in the face of him conquering those worlds in the process, due to the expertise and helping from a mysterious shadowy holographic figure who was able to aid him with his respective objectivity and mission as well in the process. Regardless of that, Zendak actually was very, very intrigued with his obligation and with his true objectivity, as was able to conquer 10,000 merciless worlds under his sole control within those 2 months. In such of a short notice between those 2 months as well. On the 20th of February, Zendak made another holographic monitor image to Amber, the goddess of power, again in order to tell her that the plans and everything else and the preparations that have actually successfully made have also began to gladly take place. Amber, the goddess of power, exactly told Zendak that she's very quietly pleased with his results and with his greatest mission in him adapting and achieving such a progress in such of a short notice of space-time, meaning in other words that he was the true successor and the true protege of the original Lord of Magic. Regardless of that, Zendak also marked that he was indeed, after that, his holographic image through the monitor disappeared again, and Amber was very satisfied. Things are going back in place as well. On the 15th of March, Zendak made another holographic image within the monitors of the Shadow Empire, within the home worlds of the Shadow Empire bounty hunters, who are his people, and exactly told them that this is their time to actually rule the entire sacred cosmic cosmos, in the process for them to become the powerful rulers of the universe. After that, the rest of the other Shadow Empire warlords and commanders mercilessly all agreed with Zendak, as they all exactly vouched for him to become the sole leader of the Shadow Empire. Regardless of that, Zendak was very, very satisfied and pleased to see the rest of his people rise to the occasion, and also gladly voting up for him, and also gladly voting up for him and standing up for him as well. On the actual 24th of April, Zendak was able to speak to his loyal supporters on the sacred chambers of his home headquarters, where he was able to tell them that due to their advices and to their intellects and to their expertise, he was able to gain such loyal followers and loyal many supporters throughout the known universe and throughout the rest of the territories of the Shadow Empire. Regardless of that, Zendak was very, very satisfied and very, very ridiculously pleased that he was able to manage to gather the council to support him and join him with his efficient conquest and ruling over the known universe, for him to become the next ruler of the Shadow Empire. And the other loyal advisors of the Shadow Empire and of the other Shadow Empire warlord exactly told Zendak they are standing with him, regardless, one way or another. And Zendak was very pleased, as he told them that his next step of operation is to eliminate the universal heroes permanently. Despite this, guys, Zendak is completely merciless and very powerful and very dangerous, and a very dedicated, loyal Shadow Empire warlord and commander of a bounty hunter, very merciless with his mission and very loyal to the original Lord of Magic and to his cause and to his organization, believing that he's, after all, destined to conquer the entire sacred universe and the rest of the known universe in the process, which makes him very sadistically cruel and very, very powerful. He knows how to study his enemies, and also learn about their movements and about their plans and about their predictions. And he knows his enemies' weaknesses, and he uses that against them in order to break them apart, in order to break their spirits, so that when he conquers worlds and planets, that there is no revolts or no uprisings that can fully rise or take control to fight back against his ruling or against his authority. Despite that, he's very exceptionally skilled in hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship. He bears a powerful cybernetics implanted hand of his own, which makes him a very dangerous Shadow Empire and a foe as well. A super strategist and a super tactician, extremely immortal, resilient, persistent, very ambitious, ruthless, cruel, merciless, and very, very dangerous and deadly. According to the Four Nation Hunters, Zendak is extremely one of the most dangerous Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, and one of the most merciless Shadow bounty hunters of the entire Shadow Empire's history. He is rumored to be the darkest and one of the most powerful, dangerous of all. He received a powerful cybernetic hand due to the dark druids and dark witches and the dark faithful who exactly are in the current leadership of Amber, and also the dark seekers who are also in the current leadership of Amber, who are able to mysteriously, fascinately experimenting on the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders by giving them highly advanced technology and weapons, and highly advanced technology and destructive weapons in the process. And Zendak was able to receive a highly advanced cybernetics hand, which can easily work to his advantage to attack his enemies and foe to his own advantage. Despite this, he's extremely resilient and very ambitious and very determined. He possesses a huge fleet of battle cruisers and of airship fleet at his disposal, which makes him gratefully very dangerous and very powerful. Due to his experience under the current original World of Magic, who was very, very quietly praising him and very quietly praising him and very quietly systematically praised with his work and with his greatest occasion of him rising and successfully rising to the occasion, ascending to the occasion. He was able to earn the original Lord of Magic's trust and respect and totally true honesty through his dedication and also his work to his mission and to his grace, which was able to actually rise to the occasion and ascend to the occasion as well. He was also able to be very good in studying sacred histories, all wars and all battle, and he very quietly well knows that the original Lord of Magic was very quietly fully officiated and fully associated with the fallen and with the King of Darkness, despite despite the three ancient forces of evil being born in a different time, in a different century. They were still able to know about each other, and they were still able to remain in contact with each other through their personal and powerful dark followers and supporters as well, which they were able to keep each other on the loop, on the common mission and the common interest as well. Regardless of this, Zendak was able to gather multiple followers, and many supporters throughout the known universe in order for them to join forces with him to grow his fleet and to grow the number of his faction and of his fleet in order to take down those who would actually not submit to his ruling or to his controlling. He's very systematically cruel and very systematically ambitious and very determined of his mission, of his goal, and he's willing to rise and ascend to power. He doesn't exactly like power, but he's willing to utilize power and greater resources in order to conquer worlds and planets, which he has done which he has done throughout the centuries and throughout the many years of the Shadow Empire. He's very merciless. According to Mandax, when Mandax actually told the Universal Heroes about Zendak, he is one of the deadliest, cruelest shadow bounty hunter, Shadow Empire warlord, and one of the most powerful of all, and loyal and very obedient and very trustworthy to the original Lord of Magic, who graciously trusted him with all his secrets and knowledge and information about his mission, which makes him deadly. He was able to gather 10,000 followers and loyal many supporters throughout the known fringes of the known universe, and he leads a race of shadow bounty hunters who also come from the Shadow Empire itself as well, who believe in Zendak's mission and goal. Despite this, he's very determined and he can easily fight any adversary or any foe, and he learns the hard way that the Universal Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition of the Four Nation Hunters must never be underestimated, especially the abilities in thwarting his operation and his long-term plans in the process. He's very well associated with Amber, the goddess of power, or known as the Witch of Power, who graciously actually believes in Zendak's mission and goal, which she decided in order to partner with him in order for them to further their sinister goals and their sinister objectivity for them to control the Shadow Empire. Since those plans didn't exactly bear fruit due to the intervention of the Universal Heroes and Mandex, they were able to come up with a different strategy and with a different way to rule other worlds and other planets and to destroy other species and other civilization in a process to further their sinister objectivity and their goal as well. He's very merciless, very skilled in hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship. He bears a cybernetic hand, which grants him more power and long, dangerous abilities as well. He's very good in maintaining his bases of operation as well as his central headquarters, which are known worlds and planets that are gracefully actually destroyed due to him trying to invade them and actually destroy them, and he uses them in order to harbor his fleets and his entire faction at his mercy. And his central headquarters is a mother battle cruiser ship where it houses a throne room where he actually sits on the throne room, and he actually leads his faction known as a power fleet with great authority and with great leadership. Very dedicated to the Shadow Empire ways and its laws, and very, very devoted to the original Lord of Magic's goals and mission, and very optimistic, ruthless, super intelligent, wiser tactician, and a super strategist, extremely immortal, very powerful due to his own gravity. He actually believes that he is destined to rule 10,000 worlds, and is willing to do that in order to further his goal. His greatest arch nemesis and enemies are the universal heroes and the Four Nation Hunters, and he's willing to move them out of the way, and he's willing to move them out of the way and to purposely kill them and to put an end to them. But he learns through his failings, through his past failings, through his greater past failings, through his greater past failings, and through his greater past failings, and to his last encounter with the universal heroes, that their abilities in thwarting his operation and his long-term plans can never be underestimated. And he'll always come up with different, wiser strategies and better ways in order to attack his enemies in a very different angle. He studies them. He's very super intelligent, very 12 level intellect, and a very, very noble but wiser, cruel, ruthless, merciless Shadow Bounty Hunter, Warlord, Commander of the Shadow Empire, whose origins and lineage trace back to the Shadow Empire, which is where he practically comes from, the Shadow Empire itself. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. I'll actually see you on Monday. Have a blessed weekend. Enjoy yourself and stay happy and have a great day. And love yourself and take care of yourself. May God bless you and protect you and stay with you through everything else that you're doing. And be very, very brave. I'll be able to upload the episode on Monday for those of you who are actually watching the long video on YouTube. And for those of you who are actually watching shorts, you'll receive the shorts. And for those of you who are actually watching TikTok, you receive the TikTok video as well. Have a great weekend and have a blessed weekend and a great day. See you on Monday. Stay safe and stay happy. Like and subscribe. God bless you all. Love you all and take care. Bye. Bye. Bye.